Hello, Joel.
Hey there, Andrew.
How are you?
I'm doing swimmingly. How about you?
I'm doing amazing.
Nice shirt.
Yeah, got new shirts. They say Colombia Podcast on it.
Where'd you get that shirt from?
Thanks to La Fond.
La Fonda? Is that
Jane
you,
Fonda.
girl? La Fonda Fitness? No, La Fond. Medellin. These guys make the Medellin gear. It says made in Colombia, and they were so nice as to send us 2 free shirts. We call it swag, you know.
Yeah, you know how we do.
You know, I can't use Facebook, but I know the word swag. Hey, first and foremost, happy birthday to Kyle Ellerbrock and Nick. I can't pronounce your last name, but you know who you are. Nick, how do you say Nick's last name?
I don't even know.
Feliz cumpleaños, parceros. Kyle all the way in Mexico. Nick all the way about 2 blocks away here in Poblado. This is episode number 49. I'm over here drinking some Lambrusco. What are you drinking?
Drinking Corona, Lambrusco, rum. I'm like quadruple fisting over here.
Never heard of that before, but yeah. Is that a new song?
It's a new old song.
A new old song.
A new old song.
I like it. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to be talking about updating on our life under lockdown.
What kind of updates we have? We've had no life.
That's true. So we're just going to do this right now.
We're going to kick it.
We're just going to kick it.
Taught him everything he knows and how to kick it.
Episode 49 of the Colombia Podcast. My name is Andrew Macia.
My name is Joel Duncan.
And we are
the Colombia Podcast.
Hells yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it's episode 49. If you didn't know, now you know.
My favorite number.
It is your favorite number.
No.
What are you, a 49er fan?
No, not at all.
God damn, get out of here.
Whose
Oakland Raiders, what's up?
69 and 49, the 2 favorite numbers. All right.
So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining in. If you guys are live, we are on Facebook and YouTube. We're taking questions from people that are live. And if you're watching the recorded version, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, ask questions in the comments because we like trolls.
Yeah.
And we like to, Joel, more than anything, Joel and Felipe are the ones
I'm
that
learning to
respond.
embrace them. I'm learning to embrace trolls.
I just don't even respond. I actually friend them.
Yeah, trolls are cool. They've got a soft, sensitive side.
Well, some people call them haters.
Some people
I call them
trolls.
fans.
Trolls are those things with the little spiky hair. Like, they're cute and they're, they don't speak much. Not much comes out of their mouth. And I got a saying that I read on Facebook that I'm going to throw out later when I drink a little more.
Yeah.
But
first and foremost, I'd like to shout out La Fond. Mm-hmm. Thank you for giving us these shirts. They say Colombia Podcast on them. Thank you so much. They're awesome. Great fit. They also do the Medellin shirts. They also do this hat. Check out the hat. Can you all say what that says?
Hágale pues.
It says hágale pues.
What does that mean?
It's like paisa slang for just do it, like Nike, but it's hágale pues.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Make sure to check out his website and also his stores. He's got physical stores. La Fond. He's got a lot of Medellin shirts, a lot of Medellin gear. Go get your shit out there. And he did it for free. Well, not for free. We're shouting him out, right?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome.
We decided not to have a guest this week just so we could kick it and talk a bunch of shit and,
double fist.
Double fist, bring the trolls in. So here's what, Andrew might have some random, ridiculous questions for me and some might be cool also and sensible. And I have some questions maybe for Andrew. And if you guys have questions for us, shoot them our way. And we'll try to answer as honestly as possible, as bluntly as possible, or style. We're not going to hold back. Felipe is monitoring the lines. So if you got a question, send it through and he'll read it for us and we'll try to both give our opinion.
Yeah. I think we've been through a lot here in Medellin and in Colombia. It's been, I think, the longest quarantine time in the world. Uh-huh. Is that it?
That's what they say.
Yeah. So I don't know how long. The days, I've lost count of the days. I bought a basketball hoop and I just play basketball outside and shoot. So, once I'm back in the court, I'll be lethal.
Yep.
But
lethal.
Lethal.
It's my girlfriend. Her name's Lethal.
I'll be lethal. I'll be Lethal Vargas out there. But other than that, I mean, shit. Joel, can you give us an update on the coronavirus in Colombia and what you've been up to?
An update on the coronavirus in Colombia. So Colombia right now, honestly, it's my birthday. I'm celebrating my birthday in September, and we've had this plan to go away, we had this plan to go away. We were going to go and spend some time on the beach.
We're not a couple.
We're not a couple. Once again.
But we have a plan to go away together and spend time on a beach.
In a cabana on the beach, a little cabana. Yeah, but no, to go away, and supposedly international travel will open up on September 1st here in Colombia.
Yes.
Supposedly.
I'm leaving. I don't care.
I don't know how you gonna swim. So a week ago or so, it was confirmed that airports, including the one in Medellin, will be open on September 1st. But hold on. It comes with a caveat. They're gonna test out domestic flights, and they say nothing about international flights. So anybody that's in Colombia that wants to leave Colombia and buy a ticket to go on vacation, to visit family, if it's not a humanitarian flight, no one knows whether they should pull the trigger or press the mouse or click the button and buy their ticket for a date that's supposed to be opening 2 weeks from now. I mean, on the podcast 2 weeks from now, we'll give an update about that. But we're sort of in limbo. And I think it's really messed up because I was telling Andrew, is if any of you use Skyscanner to book a flight, go on Skyscanner. On their homepage, it says something like, find out travel restrictions and what's going on in the world in travel. And you click on this little map, and it's a map with basically 4 colors, right? Green is it's open, so the United States, Mexico, a few places in Europe. Then you see orange, which means it's partially open. There's 2 places in South America that are partially open, Argentina and French Guyana, I believe. And then red means it's closed, and a lot of places are closed.
Right.
And Colombia is none of those 3 countries. So Colombia is not open.
It's not closed.
It's not closed, and it's not partially open.
It's just like they don't know. They don't know.
Colombia is one of 3 countries
in the world.
Right?
That Skyscanner.
The Skyscanner says they can't tell you if you should book your ticket because they have no fucking clue what's happening in Colombia. As the whole population, anybody that lives here, anybody who wants to come here, they have no clue when and if they can travel. And that, to me, is the biggest update. And I think I don't know if it's a political game. I don't know if they're just waiting to the last minute to yank the cord. But we're just basically stuck.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck. But it's not a bad place to be stuck.
No.
Medellin is a beautiful place. And it's even though we're stuck, and we are not supposed to go outside when it's not our day, you could still go on your day to the grocery store. You can go out and do exercise for a couple hours, and it's not a bad place to be stuck. I mean, there could be better places. I mean, you could be stuck on a beach in Mexico or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've been all right. Joel, I wanted to ask you another question about the whole Corona thing. Mm-hmm. So I remember that you were talking about the hospital bed situation, that you heard an update about that.
Yeah. So I saw some, I don't know if it was Caracol, I don't know which one of the bigger news news channels that said something like we're 26 beds away from being back in a lockdown, meaning if these apparently the ICU units here in Medellin at least are getting so full that soon they'll be at capacity. And what that means is if you have an emergency situation, there might not be a bed for you. And if that situation happens, they're saying it's nearly 100% that we'll go back into full lockdown. And full lockdown means we won't even be able to go outside on 1 day a week, which is, and right, for 2 hours a day for exercise. It'll just be like no one can go out. And so I don't know, reality, what we were talking about in the coffee shop was we don't know what is fact, what is fiction, what's political, what's to give the country a good image. We really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we're kind of left in the dark right now, and we're kind of just being led and following almost blindly. And there's no way that we can not follow because it's not like we can leave. Regardless, I think that once everything's opened up, right, it's going to take a while for things to get back to semi-normal. Mm-hmm. And I'm mostly talking about tourism, people coming into the city. But today I went to the barber shop, and I was walking through Manila, and Manila is like an up and coming neighborhood for tourism. It's got it had about 32 hostels before Corona. I'm sure it's way down from there. But as I was walking around, El Viajero, which is a very big hostel chain in Colombia and South America. I think even in Mexico. Oh, no, it's Panama and down, right? All the way to Chile. They have a bunch of El Viajero hostels. El Viajero Hostel, they're finishing up their construction here. They're literally putting up the sign and everything. So they're continuing.
Is that because they think that maybe flights are going to start coming back on September 1st?
Well, regardless, I think they have to put it up because investors probably put money into that already. Yeah. So they have to, there has to be some sort of concrete, something to show for that money invested. So I think they're hoping that flights will open up soon. But I'm not holding my breath for September 1st. Yeah. I think it'll be maybe middle of September, if not October. But regardless, I think we gotta just keep trying to live our life. So,
but there's some people that watch this, and actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and we'll go backwards, and I'll give my take like later on that. And I told Felipe, I was like, I wonder what does Andrew think Medellin will be like by this December? Like, in your heart of hearts, what do you feel is going to be December in Medellin?
Yo, you've seen those? You've seen that meme with the Kenyan or the African dancers carrying the casket?
Coffin? Yeah.
That's how Colombia's going to be.
Like celebrating and
carrying? No, yeah, people just dying in groves, but we're going to be partying.
You think so, huh?
Oh yeah. There's nothing's going to stop the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Whether they open up flights, whether they're not going to open up flights, there's enough medical staff, there's enough rooms, ICUs. The shit's still, people are going to die. Yeah. And Colombia's Colombia. It's going to be a party come December, I tell you that. And people are going to get COVID. Oh, speaking of COVID, our cleaning lady got COVID. She got COVID, but she got mild symptoms.
Yeah, and we don't know when she had the COVID. We know she had COVID.
And our cleaning lady is like, she's not old enough to be like in the at risk.
By the way, I found out her age. She's turning 50.
She's turning 50. Yeah. So Joel slept with her, so he probably has COVID as well.
You see, this rumor is gonna start like it didn't happen. It never happened. That's fake news. I wouldn't do that. I'm a professional. Anyways, I'm a professional. That is gross, by the way, and I don't mean that because I love her dearly. Not in that way, but it's not. Her now. It's not going to happen.
It was just for fun.
So, by the way, Steve Chat says that Viajero is actually open, and Fabricio, the manager, is awesome.
Is that where Steve Chaw's doing his 50 people? He's holding them there to do the art project. I know he's got an art project, and
really?
Like, if he writes in, we'll talk about it. But we'll come back to that. So honestly, just like the news, where we don't know what's fact, what's fiction. I love Medellin. Everybody knows I love Medellin. I have high hopes for this place. But to be quite honest, when people talk about getting back to normal, Viajeros, doors are open. People open their doors. Restaurants are trying to do things. Yeah. We've been talking to a few business owners who we're going to have some great shows coming up with some very respected folks.
Should we give a sneak preview, a sneak peek at what's going to go on next podcast?
Well, as soon as we get the confirmation date. But let's give a sneak preview.
Well, coming up in one of the next podcasts, maybe the next podcast, is the owner of Carmen.
The two owners, yeah.
Yeah, the two owners of Carmen. She's from San Diego. I've met her a few times. She's awesome. And we're really excited to be able to interview her because they have one of the best restaurants, if not the best restaurants in Colombia. It's not even
Carmen. Carmen, yeah.
Rob and Carmen.
Well, they have 8 restaurants in Colombia.
Right.
And 8 of the most, as Andrew was saying, highly sought after restaurants, and we want to have them here to talk about what's happening with the restaurants. And we chatted briefly with them, and it's brutal, and they're really honest about everything that's been going on.
They're hit hard.
They've been hit pretty hard, and we want to find out what they're doing, how they're responding. Like, if any of you are planning a trip to Medellin or Cartagena, or you live here or you've been here, if you've ever Googled best restaurants in Medellin or whatever else, guarantee you're going to see Carmen, and guarantee you're going to see El Cielo. And so the owners of Carmen, we hope that
what's their Asian one? Here. Mishu. Mishu.
No.
Machu Picchu. No.
We're slaughtering
Me Too.
Not Me Too.
Me Too movement.
It's not Me Too.
Oh.
Micho? No. Damn it, I'm messing it up. Sorry, guys, for slaughtering the brand, but
Well,
hopefully
anyway,
they'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be talking to them. Do you think that once a question from Jesse is that the biggest question is like if they do open up Colombia, will people have to quarantine before they actually come in?
So here's the funny thing, or not so funny thing, talking about this whole quarantine process. So according to what we know on the news, Colombia's curve is like this, and even the U.S. is sort of like flat in a way.
Yeah.
Right? Colombia is one of the countries that are like this. So
Yeah,
we're taking off. We're winning. The United States, Colombia, we're winning. Apparently, I don't know, I saw it from different sources. I think it was Colombia Reports and somewhere else that said Colombia had the highest per million death rate in the world right now and blah, 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 blah. Okay. The United States is pretty fucked up right now, right?
Yeah.
As far as we know, it's pretty fucked up. And everybody knew that New Zealand had 0 cases.
Yeah.
I think it was like 103
They were
days.
kind of like the poster child
Exactly.
of what to do
Exactly.
to contain corona.
So we're talking to Sean, who's the owner of Ihamia Cafe, and he's saying, "Dang, we got 4 cases, and they had like 103 days of being COVID-free, and now they've got these 4 cases in a rural area, which they think came from like packaged cold meat or something at a meat plant somehow, and blah 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 blah." So apparently, now the U.S. travel advisory says don't go to New Zealand. They got 4 cases. I'm like, there's something ironic about this because the U.S. is like top of the charts. So anyways, now I think about it. If Colombia's curve is like this, when anybody comes here, for sure, when they try to leave here, they're going to have to quarantine when they go home.
Right, when
for
they go
one,
back.
For
Right.
sure. And then 2, I don't know if all of a sudden the countries that are open, like the United States, Mexico, some places in Europe, if they'll say, dang, if you're coming from Colombia, you're going to have to quarantine or you're going to have to do some special testing. So
Yeah.
I think just the name Colombia is going to have, it already has a stigma. Now you throw some COVID on top of that as one of the rising countries. And for anybody traveling outside of Colombia, it could get really, 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 really sticky. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. I think once things open up, I think people that are coming from overseas, if it's not a domestic flight, people are going to have to quarantine. And the question will be, will you have to pay for your own quarantine? Because I know countries like Australia and New Zealand, where they have that 2-week quarantine, the government actually pays for your hotel for you to stay 2 weeks there and then leave. But I highly doubt that the Colombian government's going to do that for everybody coming in.
Well, Gildas is in France, and he just said since today, England has asked for quarantine for any English citizen coming back from France.
Oh, okay.
And that's in Europe, right? I think like people hear the word Colombia and they freak the fuck out already, right? In general, somebody's like, Colombia, so great, so progressive. It's like, oh, Colombia. That's why I think you throw some COVID on there and it's really going to hurt. Imagine if you're Colombian trying to travel.
Right.
That's even like crazier. Now, back to the thing about business. I'm hoping that Rob and Carmen can really shed some light because they have a really, well-established business that was there before we even got here. So they'll have a different perspective. But here's my thing. If people do have to quarantine, and we'll ask those folks that are listening, that are watching, that's saying that they're coming to live here in like a month or 2 months or 3 months, or forget that, somebody that's planning a vacation to come to Colombia, right? We've got 2 types of folks. The types that are coming here to spend a couple months, to settle down, longer period of time. So they could probably hunker down, spend 2 weeks, then go on with their life.
Right.
But what happens to the tourists who are coming to Colombia for 2 weeks? Why would you come here?
Well, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't,
Yeah,
right?
that's a great
So-
point. If you're coming here for less than a month, I don't think it would be worth it if there is that 2-week quarantine.
And most people need to get like vacation back home, right? Apply for vacation. Let's say they get a month off.
Right.
Why would you use your only opportunity in this 2020 year? And we've all seen the memes. Everyone thinks 2020 is fucked up.
Yeah.
To come, quarantine for 2 weeks in a house, and then go out and travel for 2 weeks and go home and quarantine for 2 weeks. So in
Yeah.
order to come here
Go to Mexico.
just go to Mexico.
Go to Mexico.
That's the fact.
Yeah, because Mexico doesn't have the quarantine, so it's one of those places where you could just fly in and go right to the beach.
like we should ask Angie a question, being like a Colombian person. Entonces, I'm going to ask a Colombian person in Spanish, and then we're going to translate it, okay?
Okay.
Entonces, ¿qué piensas? ¿Piensa que cuándo vamos a hacer como estar capaz de viajar, de salir de Colombia como normal? ¿Y cuándo crees que realmente vamos a empezar a aceptar a extranjeros acá en Colombia o en Medellín? ¿Cuál es tu opinión?
Pronto. En Colombia, no sé, la verdad esto está muy extraño. Hay momentos en que todo eso es muy rápido, como que vemos que todo está otra vez en la normalidad, y de un momento a otro otra vez cambia.
Sí.
Entonces realmente es muy extraño. Que vienen extranjeros, pues ya uno ha escuchado gente que tiene reservado tiquetes para septiembre, porque la gente ama Colombia y como que encuentran acá un escape y piensan que acá todo está como muy normal, pero no sé ahorita que empiecen a venir también qué van a encontrar acá, porque realmente la ciudad está como muy extraña.
Yeah. So she says that it's kind of strange or weird because one day they'll say something and then the next day it'll change. But she does know some foreigners that do have tickets to come back in September because they miss Colombia, or that Colombia is kind of like an escape for them. But even if they do get to come back and we're still not completely out of quarantine, it's like, what are you going to do? And that's a valid point. Like, if you come over here to vacation, but not all restaurants are open, clubs aren't open, discos and bars aren't open, which they're not right now. What are you going to do here?
But somebody told me, oh, well, by then they'll have, like in Canada, for example, in Canada, you can open up the what do you call those? Like the patios, the front
Right.
of the patio. So everyone's out there. You can't go into the restaurant or the cafe, but you can sit outside. So I thought, well, somebody would have to be really desperate to get out of their country to come to Colombia, come to Medellin, to sit at Pergamino, right? Or Ijamia in the front at a table with a mask on as their vacation. Why would you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would
I
you
think
waste
it
money to do that?
Yeah, it's going to be very rough. So I think people just have to kind of bite the bullet. Either
Yeah.
come here and bear with it, or just go somewhere else, or not go anywhere, right?
Or just like
Just stay home.
Just stay home. So I mean, there's a lot of people in my boat. I'm celebrating the big 40, 40 years on this planet, 40 in September. Now, I've never been in this predicament in my life. Last year, we rented a crazy finca. We had an amazing time. Friends were there. We were drinking. Life was normal. And now, I don't even know if on the 19th of September, which is my birthday, I'll be even able to leave the front door, because it might not be my cedula day or my ID day. So people said, okay, if international flights aren't open and you can't make it to Mexico, where I want to go, just fly domestically.
Right.
I'm like, well, fly domestically
To where and do what?
Yeah, and do what?
Yeah, it's not like you can go to the beach. Even
Exactly.
if you were to fly to Cartagena or Santa Marta, or Palomino and Santa Marta, or
Yeah.
or even the Pacific coast, like, could you go enjoy yourself at the beach?
No.
Are things going to be open? It's like, that's the question. So to answer all of your questions, we don't know, and we don't know what the fuck's going on.
We don't know shit.
I'm going stir crazy over here. I'm humping the couch. And it's like there's
There's a third.
not much to do.
We're going to come back to some COVID stuff in a second. And Gildas, this must be some French.
Dildos.
There's some fucked up French humor or something. Because Gildas had a very serious question for me. He says, I have a question. Did you lost, and forgive
Did
you
you
because,
lose?
yeah, because you're French. So I'm going to translate it. I have a question. Did you, and I assume he's talking about me, lose your hair? Or is that a LeBron James style?
Yeah, that's
Firstly-
LeBron James is almost bald.
Firstly, LeBron James has half a head of hair. I have no hair, right? So as far as I'm concerned, he's rich, but I'm better bald. I've accepted my stuff. And LeBron's so rich, I guarantee you in 2 years, he's going to have a thick afro, right? Like a very, very thick afro. So yes, Gildas, I actually lost my hair when I worked with you as a tour guide in the jungle in Mexico back in 2004. My hair was already gone, and this is the way that I've been rocking it ever since. What about you? Are you bald now?
Yeah, dildos. Answer.
He's bucking with your name.
Yeah, so apart from the whole COVID thing, Joel, how is business going right now? I'm literally asking you how business is going, although we're business partners, but I don't know. Did you fart?
No, no, I don't fart like that. That's not my style. How's business going? I think business is pretty damn good. I would say business as usual, right? Or maybe just a little better. I said it today. I was talking to somebody that works online, Rob, and I said, man, I thank God, because I say thank God, that we work online and that our clients in the U.S. And why am I happy that our clients in the U.S.? Not just because of the dollar. Because the U.S., they don't give a fuck. Meaning business first, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a business first place, and our clients are in a business first place.
Right. It's a country born of bloodshed and war. You think it's going to shut down because of COVID?
Yeah, they're not shutting down. They're not shutting down.
Hell no.
They're not shutting down.
USA.
So business, for those who didn't tune into other podcasts before, like literally we lost a lot of business like most people in the first week when the world panicked and everyone shut down, and we built back up, and we've been working as usual and smarter and changing things. So business in general is pretty decent for us. And my heart goes out to anybody who, because we talk about it all the time, probably the same everywhere in the world, right? Regularly, 4 out of 5, correct me someone if I'm wrong, but about 80% or more of small businesses shut down after their first year or in their first year of existence. Now, let's layer COVID on top of that, right? You just spent your little trust fund you had, or your nest egg, or you got a loan or something to get your whatever business, just amazing business idea off the ground. And it probably would have even been successful on Shark Tank or wherever else, but distancing, lack of people doesn't allow it. So a lot of people right now, not just in Colombia, all over, are hurting really bad. And again, I'd say that our heart goes out to them. And, if there's any way that we could somehow, I don't know, help or give advice, send us a message. Go ahead, Felipe's got a question.
But no, I was just going to say that not only our hearts goes out, but action is also going out. Help Colombia Now is a charity that you guys are now helping run. Right? So, well, tell us a little bit about that.
Help Colombia is now a nonprofit organization, legal nonprofit organization here in Colombia, and we legalized it because before what we were doing was we were taking donations in to feed neighborhoods, to get groceries, to get fixed roofs, to get clothes, to help in any way these neighborhoods in Colombia that are at high risk, very vulnerable through this whole COVID thing, right? Yep. So we were taking in donations through our personal accounts, and obviously our accountant basically beat us. Yeah. And she said, you can't do that because for tax reasons, it's impossible to deduct that because it just looks like income coming in.
But not just deduct that. We have to pay taxes for money.
Right.
On money. 30%.
You have to claim it. You have to claim it. Exactly. You have to claim it. So we stopped that immediately as soon as she said that. And we formed the legal entity, which is Help Colombia, so that the legal entity can have its own bank account and receive funds and have its own accounting apart from Andrew and Joel. Mm-hmm. So now Help Colombia receives funds from anywhere in the world, and we help local businesses and
correction on that. Not anywhere in the world yet.
Well, someone can't wire?
They can't. So I'm gonna give you guys an update on this, and this is why for anybody that follows me personally on my photography, Instagram, or on Facebook or anywhere else, you'll notice that I suddenly went sort of quiet on the
whole donation
on the whole
tip?
the donation stuff. And even though I don't really say, hey, donate, I just put stuff out there. It's because there's this law now that if you're a new company, right, and this foundation is a new company, you have to wait 6 months before you're eligible to receive any money from outside. So we can legally receive money here in Colombia
Man, what
from
a
any
crock of
Colombian.
shit, huh?
It's a crock of shit.
Well,
Because
I mean,
I understand where they're coming from.
I understand where they're coming from too, coming
money
from a
laundering.
fucking narco culture,
Uh-huh.
where anybody could throw up a nonprofit and then start getting donations
Yeah.
into it for
Yeah.
non-tax
Yeah.
deductible reasons.
But
Or-
I think it's good that people, like, for those of you that are watching, that are listening, if you can think of a solution, we've probably thought about it, but hit us with it, because the biggest problem is we did the numbers. Well, Laura and Mariana did the numbers, and 80 or 90% of all the donations that we received. And by the way, people, just to give you an idea, this is going to be all public. We want to make everything public. Steve Chaw's watching. He knows the importance of making sure that people know where their money is going.
Yep.
Since April,
transparent.
when before it was called Help
Sueño en
Colombia,
Sueño.
it was called Yo Sueño en Sueño. We have collected 60 million pesos. 60 million pesos is more or less about $20,000 US. Now that $20,000 US is going to be taxed. Andrew, myself, and the 3 other people that received money, we're going to pay taxes on that $20,000. Now, the big challenge is, how do we get money into the country faster than in 6
wire.
months? Or wire. Because basically the foundation bank account cannot receive funds. However, if anybody's watching this and you have a high level connection in any bank, whether it's Bancolombia, Da Vivienda, which is some Citibank, any of the big people, and we're working on it. Courtney is in meetings with that to try to get us a higher level person that can potentially, we can prove expedite that process. That will help us to get more money in here and get it directly to
because
the people
we've
feeding.
basically hit a wall right now. We've created the foundation, but we can't receive funds until 6 months from international transfers. So I have friends, Joel have friends, literally that hit us up almost every other day saying, hey, how can I donate to this cause? Because in the United States, COVID hit hard, but the United States government has been really great about helping small business and people that don't have food, that have lost their jobs, et cetera, giving subsidies, et cetera. But the government here, I mean, it's way different when you're talking about a developing nation to a first world nation. So there are a lot of people that were suffering before COVID that are still suffering now and will continue to suffer after COVID. When everything gets back to normal in 5 years, and that's I'll put that on I'll put money on that, is that in 5 years we will get back to normal.
So you think people will be grinding out to reggaeton in the clubs in 5 years?
Well, I mean, people are already grinding out
in
to
their
reggaeton
houses.
in clubs in the neighborhoods. I know that for a fact because I know girls from out there that show me videos in fincas, in clubs.
In clubs?
In clubs, in Manrique, in Aranjuez, like secret clubs and shit where they're grinding out, having birthday parties, and all that. But when it comes back to normal, where anybody, let's say a person that doesn't go to a normal club, can go to a club and grind out or fucking dance salsa or whatever, it'll probably be 5 years or so where we see the economy turn back to what it was, where Colombia was really, really thriving. There's still going to be fucking poor people. There's still going to be people begging for food outside. So that's our plan with Help Colombia, is to not only help to do this whole COVID thing, but to make it a long-lasting organization that will help clothe, feed, and shelter people that are needy here and educate. I reached out to the English school that I used to teach at, Cesar Fernandez, about doing a partnership where we can give a scholarship to kids that really want to learn English, that are in school now, that are trying to go to school, that want to learn English, where we can get them a scholarship to go 6 months to a year to the school, Blendex, downtown, and basically for free, and get their transportation paid for and meals paid for. So it goes beyond COVID.
Yeah.
for me, and I think for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
So and it goes beyond people too, because we've been helping pets as well.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. I love pets. I love animals.
That's
I can't
why
wait.
you're vegan.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
one of the
I
reasons.
love animals, and I eat them.
I love the way they taste.
Which is really fucked up. I mean, you guys pointed that out on the last one. I love animals, but I love the way they taste. I got to think about that. That's one of my deep reflection points during this lockdown. I really love some animals.
So Jonathan asked,
Uh-huh.
¿Cómo creen que será el nuevo normal luego del virus? How do you think life is going to be? What's the new normal after the virus?
I know. I think I have a sort of an answer to that.
What do you mean?
So this concept of the new normal I think is for real.
Yeah.
There's no old normal. There's no going back. At least not for a while, because you read this meme, and it said something like, what is it? Right when we think that the COVID-19 is done, they say China comes out with, and I know China comes out with COVID-19 S plus.
Yeah.
I think we could get hit by the COVID-19 S plus, right? And then we'll be like, holy shit! But at least we're prepared to deal with COVID-19. So the S plus would be like, fuck you, we got this shit covered.
Yeah, we got it under control.
A little bit. You a little bit more high definition.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that I really the new normal is going to be very abnormal for a very long time. What I mean by that is, and everything comes back to business, right?
No, everything comes back to sex, and I'll tell you that right.
Okay, you tell me that in a second. I think everything comes back to business. Business leads to sex, all that stuff. But if, according what I heard, one person say, I think it was Patrick, that said from what he knows, like 45% of restaurants in Medellin, or at least in Poblado, have already closed their doors.
45%?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So if you think about, and I don't know, we got to vet that fact. Restaurants, clubs, bars, right? Like, and I talked with Sam Miller. It's like when people come to Medellin, right? Medellin is not, oh, we're going to go to India and somewhere and see the Taj Mahal, or go watch basketball games in Toronto and see the CN Tower and go to Niagara, right? You see Guatapé 2 hours from here and you're done. There's no real sightseeing.
And usually people that come to Medellin, per se, because we're in Medellin, they don't come with a sightseeing plan.
No, they come for restaurants.
They come for women. They come for restaurants, maybe.
Yeah.
And they come for women.
Nice
they come
weather.
for restaurants, nice weather, nightlife, women.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it's
even
like,
the women come for, like, it's fashion. Like, this is one of the fashion capitals. It's a textile capital of South America. So people can come, they can go to boutique. You know, like a day in Medellin for anybody with a decent amount of money is you go to like Pergamino, you have a coffee, you go to this restaurant, you walk around, boutique stuff, you chill, you have you go to the bar, later you go out. It's a social thing, right? Medellin is a social touristic destination.
Right.
So if the regular socialization, people come here to socialize by going to the clubs and stuff, if those aren't allowed to open, like you aren't allowed to dance with somebody, hug somebody for, let's say, another year or two, all those companies that are already invested in these establishments called clubs and bars are going to have to disappear. They're going to shut down. And then let's say in a year or two, they decide, hey, things are coming back. We're going to open a club. They got to start from ground zero. They got to rebuild. They got to remodel. They got to remarket. They got to get, and all that stuff. Like the new normal, I think it's going to be house parties with a group of friends and friends of friends. I think fincas, like, fincas, for those of you who don't know, like the fancy country homes.
Catering business are probably gonna blow the fuck up.
What businesses?
Catering
businesses. Okay, like chef at home and type stuff like that.
Well, I kind of like the new normal.
Yeah.
Because
pretty cool.
Girls are getting used to not going out to a restaurant before a date. You just go straight to the house. I like that. For me, that's like a dream come true. Like,
why?
Before,
you don't know how to eat with a knife and fork?
you had to go take them to a restaurant, then go maybe some dancing. No, now go to the house, and that's it.
Oh, so you don't like to go out?
Well, I mean, if I like the girl, I'll take her out on the second date. But now the new normal is the first date's at home. And
Yeah,
then maybe
so
we'll go out afterwards. Maybe we'll watch a movie later.
So that's better for you then.
Well, I think it's better for mankind because we're here to reproduce. Right? We need to reproduce and I need to practice.
So what Andrew Messia is saying is that next year he will definitely be expecting a few babies.
Well, well, let me tell you this. Come Father's Day, I turn off the phone. I don't want any unexpected calls.
You try to call the trolls in. Yeah, call them in.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
I like the new normal. It's treating me well. Tinder's been blowing up. I got a lot of.
Wait. Wait.
Yeah. So
hold on a second.
So let me tell you a little bit about Tinder. So I turned on my Tinder, and it's been going well. I've been hit up by a lot of trannies and a lot of prostitutes. Have some interesting conversations with them. So I switched. I was tired of it because obviously they're out of work. So I've a lot of women selling pictures of their feet and hands on Tinder, and I got a little tired of it here in Colombia. So I purchased the gold, and I went to China. So now I'm talking to a girl named Fly.
In China?
Yeah. I'm talking to Chi. I'm talking to Fly. I'm talking to 4 girls from Hong Kong, and 2 of them have been to Colombia. I'm serious. This is not even.
This guy's swiping. Wait a second. People come. Let's just put this in perspective. People come to Colombia. People come to Medellin to find the most beautiful women. A lot of very beautiful women. I'm not saying the world, but here. And Andrew subscribed to Tinder Gold in China and is talking to who? Chi
and Fly. She's Fly though. And another girl.
So wait, what are you planning? So let me. Okay, so
my plan. Okay,
so,
I
what's your
understand.
plan?
I know where this question's going.
Oh my goodness. And I hope you didn't make that name up because that'd be damn racist if you call people Chi and Chai and that's not their name.
No, her name is Chi, and there's a Fly. I can show you.
Oh, Fly.
Yeah, FLY. That's how she spells it.
All right, cool. So what's your plan with Chi and Fly?
So they both of them have been to Colombia. So my idea is to get Chi and Fly to come out, and we do a ménage à China trois. How do you say 2 in Chinese?
Oh, you're asking me?
Oh, but anyway, that's my plan with Chi and Tai. Chi and Fly.
You're gonna fly Chi and Fly over here.
I'm not gonna fly them over. Those girls, they're 20. A 29-year-old in China owns and runs their own fucking car dealership.
They do?
Yeah, these girls are not first of all, she's one of the questions that Chi asked me was do you believe in prenuptials? And this is just me just. Hey, how are you?
Wait, by the way, people, I don't know anything about this. Is shocking me. I don't even know.
Yeah, she asked me, do you believe in prenuptial agreements?
So wait, let me ask you a question.
Prenuptial? I just barely know you.
You said hi, and she answered with you.
No. This was in the very beginning of the conversation. After the whole hi and how are you? Where are you from? I'm from here. Oh, ha 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 ha. Hee hee hee. You know how they laugh? You're so far away. And then I'm like, yeah. Oh, hee hee hee. You're so brown. And then you're so tall because I put my height. And
are you writing J-E-J-E-J-E or what?
Yeah, you have to do the J-I-J-I.
Oh,
yeah.
I.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the high pitched. So then they ask. One of her first questions was, "Do you believe in prenuptials?" And I'm like, "Hells yeah!" And she's like, "Oh, that's good because I think everyone should be independent." And then I look where she works. She's a general manager of some. Car dealership out there, and her dad's the owner.
So why did you choose to set your Tinder Gold to, is it Hong Kong or where are you swiping?
Yeah, well, I got a little bit of a yellow fever. It's called Corona, and so I had to set it over there.
Oh wow, this is getting. So you have a bit of a yellow fever.
Yeah, I think everybody gets the fever. Some people get the jungle fever. Some people get the yellow fever.
So let me ask you. So what's?
I'm trying to find the love of my life.
So we understand that Andrew is swiping in Hong Kong, and going for higher caliber women named Fly and Chi. And what about you, Felipe? How you're a Paisa guy. How's been dating life for you? You got powdered milk in there, or what you got going in between? What's happening?
100%.
So you have 100% pure powdered milk going on. So for you,
no.
dating life,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
And we lost all our women viewers.
yeah,
which we had none.
yeah.
My mom. No, she's still alive.
You said mom, and I live with my mom.
Okay.
I want to be a responsible person.
No, but your mother would probably really like it if you invited. I met your mom. Your mom would appreciate if you invited a nice, wholesome person over.
See, here's the thing. We're in the Corona times, right? She has had people over.
Like dates.
Yep.
And you're there.
Well, I pretend like I'm not there.
That's fucked.
No,
Because you are like
No, but you know what you should do? Well, how old are you?
guess.
32.
I'm turning 2 in 3 weeks. Yes.
Okay, so he's almost 32. You know what you should do? When your mom comes over with a date, you should pretend that you're like a little kid, like, hola, si me compras un videojuego.
Tienes cositas.
If you buy me a video game, my mom will like you more.
But should I hold them at the door, like, because this is my apartment? Remember, so in order for you to get into my apartment, you need to buy me something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving forward, Joel, what are your plans with the Colombia podcast
So
after episode 52? Because remember that we made a promise that we would do 52 episodes, a full year of podcasts. What is your vision for the Colombia podcast moving forward?
hold a second. Let's get to 52 first. Episode 52. If anybody's watching this and you know somebody of influence, somebody is cool, somebody is kick-ass, number 52 is very sentimental for us because this was just sort of like, oh, we're going to start this podcast. And we're coming up on the 52nd episode, which is like our 1 year anniversary. And we want to have somebody reputable. Now, I've got a friend, Laura Vasquez, who her family rented their finca to Gracie and Mike Bahia, couple, very together. They're a power couple.
Who's that?
Of singers. Gracie, you don't know who Gracie is?
I know Gracie, the MMA fighter.
Okay, like Royce
She
Gracie?
rented it to the MMA fighter?
No, to the singer Gracie and Mike Bahia, who's another singer. And she said, write a letter like an invite as to why you want them on, and we'd love them on. But if somebody knows and has a connection with somebody that's bigger or not bigger than them, but somebody of influence, we'd love to talk to somebody of influence that's from Colombia, from Medellin, and so forth. Now, in thinking about the Colombia podcast, we have these discussions all the time. We had this one comment that has stuck with me, for a few months now, where the guy's like, the comment was, I enjoyed the first few episodes I saw with you guys when you guys were just a bunch of guys having fun. Now, listen.
That's kind of what we're doing right now.
That's what we're doing right now. So hopefully you look at this episode.
You are appeased.
And you're appeased and you comment, you say, I love you and thank you for being a bunch of shallow people that I can associate with. Now, so here's the thing. We can be very shallow. We can talk. We have locker room talk. We can,
we can grab them by the pussy.
He can grab him by the whatever. And we can do the lot, but that's what I mean. We can talk about that and joke about that, and joke around a little bit. But then we there's also the serious side. And for those that watch, for those that follow us, you'll notice like an evolution in sort of like branding. Like we're bouncing around with branding. And something that I talked to you about and I talked to Felipe about a few weeks ago was I don't have desires to be fucking Chris Rock or Chappelle or something to just entertain people and make them laugh.
Why not?
Or make.
But you're black.
That is true.
You should be funny and make me laugh.
And dance really well, and I do dance really well.
Dance.
I did not right now. but the thing is, there's got to be substance to what we're putting out there. So you people have to actually be gaining something. Either what life is really like, inspire you to do different things when you're here,
Or just a different point of view.
different point of view. Vote for Colombians and for foreigners, and something that Andrew's very, very strongly believes in.
Trump.
Trump? Yes, he strongly believes in Trump. He's a Latino for Trump. And what he strongly believes in is let us get content out to also Colombians. Like, I think Andrew jokes that his mom's lived in the United States for a very long time, but I don't know. I haven't actually spoken to her in English, but still her Spanish doesn't speak English. So she wants to know more, and she loves watching channels of foreigners speaking in Spanish. So
Let's do it for the mothers.
Let's do it for the mothers. So we want to do it for the
And
mothers.
for the motherfuckers.
And for the everyone. So we want to have serious conversation. We want to have some fucked up conversation, and we want to have it with people that are ultra famous, people that are just a guy on the street so you can get his perspective, and we want to keep it with a nice mix of people going forward, so that's why we reach out and we always ask, what do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want us to talk about? Because we're willing to talk about anything from sex to, but not so much about politics because we don't really know much about that.
Well, and also we don't want to take sides in politics.
Yeah.
And like I was talking to my dad, I mean, we're in a position where we could literally be social leaders, but Colombia doesn't inspire that because I may be dead tomorrow if I start trying to get equality for social people.
Yeah.
For people.
Not trying to die.
Yeah, I'm not trying to die out here for this fucking podcast. But regardless, make sure to hit us up and message us. Anybody that's ever messaged us on Facebook or even to our personal accounts, they know that we always respond. We always, people that say, hey, when I get back to Medellin, we should meet up for a beer or coffee. We're more than open to that. And we're open to suggestions too. So, I mean, I think that's the best part about running a business. And we kind of run the podcast as a business is that we take suggestions, we take your comments, and we take them to heart, and we try to improve.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Who would be if you had one person that's Colombian that we could have here and sit and talk to, and not just like that we can do our style, which is we talk some bullshit, but we also get serious. Who would it be? Whether Colombian or not.
Well, I mean, my dream would be, for example, like James Rodriguez or Brian Angola.
Why would you say James Rodriguez?
Well, James Rodriguez or Brian Angola because I'm a sports fan, and for me having, for example, like a Tello on the podcast was very special because it's something that I'm very passionate about. I mean, literally every single day of my life, I watch something that has to do with sports or music. So, you know, while I work, while I'm going through my daily life, I watch something that has to do with sports and music, and I'm a big fan of James. I'm a big fan of Brian Angola. So it would be amazing to be able to talk to them. I wouldn't even want to interview them. I just want to meet them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi and say, hey, man, I'm a big fan.
I'm a fanboy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fanboy. Have them sign my titty, and we're out.
You meant your T-shirt?
No, titty.
Sign your titty. Okay.
Like an 80s rock star. So if anybody that's watching out there, if you're not a fan, if you don't like us, that's who we want to hear from. And if you are a fan, hit us up also, but we'll ignore you. And make sure to share the link. Make sure to share the YouTube link. Make sure to share the Spotify. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play. We're on Apple Podcast. And we're on Facebook and Instagram. Right, Joe?
Yeah. I think we're on all those. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're global.
Yeah, you cannot get away from us.
What am I? What are you pointing at me?
What's your ideal guest?
You know, I've been saying it for a while, and I throw their names out all the time. And it's being more than a fanboy because, you know, we just threw out TK Boys, you know, up and coming, you know, artists trying to make it in the reggaeton world. And I, Joel Duncan, would love to interview two of the biggest reggaeton stars that have been out of Medellin, that live in Medellin, J Balvin or Maluma, for two reasons. One, the funny thing is, Maluma won't even recognize me, but I trained beside him, chatted with him for nearly a year with our friend Dwayne in the Hotel Charlie. And we just talked, and I never even knew who he was. We just exchanged words. You know, back then he could hardly lift a heavy weight. He lifted really light weights before he got all like chiseled up and turned into the.
He probably
the pretty
still can't
boy.
lift very high.
Well, maybe I'd love to ask him how much what he benches.
Break out the basketball court.
Exactly.
Cross him up real quick.
But it's crazy that back in 2013, 14, I trained beside now one of the biggest, I'd say, musical stars
Wow,
in
that
the
makes
world.
you really cool and important.
It
Joel.
is. It does make me cool and important. And then now we have J Balvin, who both of these guys, like if even if we think back 5 years ago, right, in the music world, reggaeton was sort of reserved for Latinos and the few people that are sort of like love Latino culture. Now they have taken, regardless of if you like,
It was
the
almost
music,
like just Puerto Ricans, really.
Exactly. They've just like how when hip hop crossed into the mainstream, they've taken reggaeton into the mainstream, right? And they're from here. And if you actually listen, not as much Maluma, but even if you watch the that YouTube video about J Balvin's house and architecture and him talking about nothing related to work goes to his house.
I would love to slap him in the face for all those sneakers that he has. Okay. That is just some ridiculous shit. And if you were here, I'd be like, explain yourself, sir. Sir, explain yourself.
But for real.
Yeah, for real.
For real. You'd be explaining yourself. I'd love to interview them because I think that we would actually ask them some real shit. I mean, Andrew would ask about their sneaker collection. I don't give a fuck about their sneaker collection. Really.
Well, I only care because it's just absurd that you have more than 100 sneakers. Why? Anybody that has more than, what are you, the fucking
Andrew? Wait,
what are you, the queen of fucking of the Philippines?
You see. Here's
the queen of the Philippines?
Okay, hold on. Andrew Macia has, I don't know how much, but on top of his closet, he's got so many basketballs. You love basketball.
Yeah.
Those basketballs
cost like $5.
Don't even care.
No, you do care because they cost $5.
Because
each one of his shoes costs more than my whole basketball collection.
But relatively, you have like all your basketballs up there. None of them actually work, really. Like one.
Well, if you're trying to justify spending on stupid shit,
it's
not working.
That you like. If he likes shoes,
it doesn't matter. He shouldn't like it. He's a fucking public figure. He
shouldn't like shoes. He liked shoes. No,
he should like shoes, but he should not buy 100 of them and show to the world like these are my shoes and this is my closet.
Did he ask?
But I'm very humble too. So look at my humble home.
No, but by the way,
hills of Medellin.
Do you think that he asked? See, that's where we can't judge everybody, right?
That's where I can because he made it public. Second.
Did he ask to show his house, or did they ask and they found out that he had a really nice house and they asked him to see his house?
Who asked?
The magazine. That interview was not J Balvin's personal. What do you call it? Like Instagram or something. It's actually an architectural. It's what was the? I'm gonna get the name and we're gonna throw it up here and we're gonna throw the link.
I would be embarrassed. Well, I don't know. And I'm not saying that I'm a poor person, but I come from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
I would be embarrassed to show what he showed.
But once again, so people can understand, this is why we have different points of view, and it's a great thing, is that somebody can look at us and what we do, and we're here drinking a thing, I got my fancy fucking glass, and they'll be like, why are you guys showing what you have? And we're showing to a certain level.
No, but we're not showing, even if it were 5 bottles of whatever we're drinking.
Yeah.
We've never showed that. And I would never. Why would I do that?
But you see, this is exactly why I think like a J Balvin would be a great person. Because we can ask him, why do you do that?
Yeah, because they live in a different world, right?
Okay,
they live in a different world.
But he might open our perspective. He might change our perspective, right? I think like a lot of other people, some people here, I find it so fucking crazy. And you talk about it too, about in the US, where you never thought that Colombian people were really nice and warm until you came here. Because in Colombia, it's like in the foreign.
J Balvin, I invite you to come out here and change my mind about yourself.
He won't do that. He's got no need to do that.
Maybe he will in a few years.
J Balvin, we're talking to you. We got a lot.
Or you can come to make out with your fanboy over here.
Dang, dude. So I get to make out with J Balvin. You get to make out with Maluma. It's just a whole makeout session.
Either video will make views, so come regardless.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, so which video will get more views? Me making out with... No, I can't even go there. I can't do it. Anyways, whatever.
All right. Well, anyway, this was episode 49 of the Colombia podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. live or on the recorded version. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell. Joe, what do we do when we hit the bell?
Bing. Or what
Yeah,
do we do?
bing. Okay,
Bing. We go bing, bing, bing.
That's
No,
a new thing.
A lot of great episodes coming up, people. Seriously, we're gonna be working on or guest list or invite lists of people, a very diverse group of invitees coming up. If you have a suggestion, if you have a connection with someone that you think should be here and we should talk to, that has a really great opinion, a different perspective, has 9,000 shoes, whatever it is, hit us up, let us know, and let's get that episode rolling.
Hey, it's all love for Colombia.
Hey, but if they don't have connections or whatever, what else can they do to help spread the love?
Well, if they don't have connection, everybody has connections. Everybody has a friend. Everybody has family. Everybody has a social media account. Make sure to share our podcast. Make sure to share our Facebook page, our Instagram page, Colombia Podcast Colombia, whatever it is on Instagram. What is it?
Oh,
On
Colombia
Instagram.
Podcast.
Colombia Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Spotify, on
Spreaker, yeah,
on
all
Google
them things.
Podcast.
Wherever you get your favorite podcast, share, subscribe, like, talk about it if you do. And if you don't, still talk about it, still hate. Love you all.
See you guys
Love
next
to meet you.
time.
Happy birthday, Kyle. Happy birthday,
Happy
Nick.
birthday,
You,
motherfucker.
yeah. Cheers.
All right.
Okay, good. If you want to see Andrew in a skinny leopard print thong, please be sure to follow us and listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, or any other major podcast platforms. And Andrew, if they want to see our ugly faces, what should they do?
They can see us on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube for show.